whatever reason, my TikTok today was like all Bill and Frank stuff. So I was just like watching like different scenes from the episode, and I was like, it's rough.
That's one of those episodes. Like, I want to go back and watch it again, but I also don't.
Yeah,
just knowing how it ends.
Yeah.
God
It's
damn.
brutal.
God damn. What a great.
Yeah, legendary.
One of
the best. Yeah, in TV history.
And the fact that they did it with characters that you had you knew nothing about too.
Yeah.
Like they built an entire storyline around these characters in 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and even if you're like in the game, like you kind of knew about them.
Like you knew who they
really.
Were. Yeah.
They weren't really fleshed out or anything like that. But yeah.
No.
Yeah. For them to be able to like make you know nothing about the characters, and by the end of it, you're like, God damn it, I miss them. You know what I mean? Like, just.
I'll have to go back and watch that episode sometime.
Yeah. I thought about doing it earlier because after you said what?
I said when I'm really in my feels.
Yeah. Like I'm just feeling really sad today. I'm gonna watch one of the saddest episodes in television history. All right. We are live. Let me know when you tweet everything out, and then we can rock and roll.
Are you live on YouTube?
Yeah, should be live.
All right, let me refresh.
All right. Yeah, I'm showing live on my end.
Okay, let me restart. Here we go. Sorry. Okay, I'm good.
Cool.
We're good to go.
All right, I'll see you in 15. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 262. My name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick. As always, Nick, how are you doing, buddy?
Yo, I'm doing fantastic today. How are you?
I believe we are in like peak video games right now. I mean, the last few months have just been real good. I haven't finished everything, that has come out, but yeah, we are definitely we're in the thick of it.
And it's only going to get better, man. Actually, I don't know if it'll get better than it is right now between the games that we're playing. Yeah. But we got the Switch 2 coming.
I don't know. Clair Obscure might be the game of the year.
It very much might be game of the year. It might be an early lock for game of the year. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it, but
yeah, I think this game is going to eat up at the Game Awards, or at least it should.
I think at the very
least,
RPG,
best music. I mean, the music is all performances for sure. Yeah,
art direction.
It's gonna
sweep. It's gonna sweep.
We'll talk about that here in a second. But Nick, before we talk about how our week was, we both secured a Switch 2.
We did.
That happened last week. I had Jake Randall stream up beside me, feeling the hype, feeling the finger guns.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it fired me up big time. Yeah, like it really made it fun.
We've been excited for the Switch 2, but it's definitely hasn't been what we thought it was. With the tariffs and the pricing and the nickel and diming a little bit Nintendo's been doing here recently.
Let's be clear here. We've always wanted one, and we've continued to want one. We're not we're not flip-flopping here.
No,
I
no,
do
no, no,
think
no flip flopping.
the $80 price on Mario Kart 8 is too high, but we both
Yeah,
got the bundle. We're not paying $80,
yeah,
so it's all good. We're not flip-flopping. We can criticize, but also still want the Switch too. So just
yeah,
everyone relax.
yeah.
But Harrison, I mean, I had a setup. I had two laptops going and a phone,
Dang.
and yeah, I mean, I was like, I was locked in.
I had
Um,
yeah. Tell me your setup plan, then I'll go through mine.
yeah. So I had Walmart, Target, Best Buy
Yep.
on one computer. Same thing on the other computer, and then I had Target. No, I had Walmart on my phone. Immediately refresh at 11:59. Got into queues for Walmart, and then Best Buy, of course, wasn't working until like 12:30.
Yeah, that's why
So
I
like that was
was.
just kind of MIA for a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah. Um, and then I managed to get the Switch 2 added to my cart through Target, and I had the same problem as everyone else where you couldn't check out because your shipping information was incorrect or whatever. So
yeah,
I had to enter that 20 times, and then like I couldn't check out with my credit card, so like I had to use Apple
yeah.
Pay, and then I got like a fraud alert from
A lot of
my
people got
bank.
that.
So that added some complexity. Yeah. Uh, but eventually I secured one through Target, and the estimated ship date was like between June 7th and June 11th. So it was going to come in late. But once Best Buy started to work, I had just happened to refresh it at the right
Yeah,
time, and it was ready. And this was before, like right before Jake Randall announced that the Best Buy Switch 2 pre-orders were
yeah.
live. So I got into a queue pretty quick, and then it got me into the checkout screen, and I was able to go through and secure that
Nice.
for a midnight pickup.
Let's
So I'm gonna
let's go.
go that route. Let's go, dude. Gonna do the
And that's
midnight
good
pickup.
because I heard that a lot of Target pre-orders got canceled like pretty soon after
Yeah,
they.
and mine hasn't gotten canceled yet. I'm gonna hold on to it for a little
Yeah,
bit just in case. And just think like, and if yours gets canceled,
yeah,
like we'll have backup
yep.
there. Um, but I think closer to launch, I'll cancel it, and or try to like sell it at cost to someone at work or one of my friends. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, what was your how'd yours
So
go?
kind of similar, but a little bit opposite with the retailer. So I had because I've got two screens. So I had Target and Best Buy up on one screen, and then I had Walmart on the other one because I just happened to hit refresh at 11:58 on Wednesday, and it put me in the queue, and it was like 12, 13 minutes. So
Mhm.
that was like my kind of like, all right, this is the one that's probably going to work. And I was
Yeah,
able to on the computer, I was able to get the Switch 2 bundle in my cart, but it wouldn't let me check out because like the site started to crash. And that's when Jake
and this
Randall.
was on Walmart.
This was on Target. And Best Buy
Okay.
obviously it wasn't working at all. And then Jake's like, all right, everyone switch over to your phones. You know, you have to use Apple Pay or whatever, blah, blah. So I started doing that, and I was just spamming the payment button,
Yeah,
and it never did go through. And then finally, like Walmart got down to like 1 minute, and then it was added to my cart, and then I just checked out. It was pretty. Walmart came in
easy.
absolute clutch for me. And then I probably spent the next. I still stayed online for like another hour or so. I was just trying to see if I can get one through Best Buy or Target just to make sure I had a backup
Mhm.
plan. So yeah, but yeah, it was a success. I mean, I think it was probably one of the easiest pre-order that I've probably been through. It wasn't that hard.
I mean, it was a lot harder than the Switch 1.
Yeah, well, the Switch 1, I mean, we're coming off of the absolute failure of the Wii U,
Cut off the
and
Wii U.
nobody
Yeah.
it wasn't as popular as but yeah, I mean, it was I was sweating for about 20 minutes, but it really was about 20 minutes past midnight that I had to really kind of stay up, and I chose to stay up later just to try to snag an extra pre-order. Um
Right.
but I mean, I got lucky. I mean, Walmart came in clutch. I happened to refresh at the exact right time, got me in the queue, which I think is kind of bullshit that I refreshed at 11:58 and I was in the queue. Like it should just start at midnight, but they probably wanted to trickle people in. But
yeah, it's kind of. I mean, GameStop did the same thing the next day. Like through their
GameStop's
app, you could get in.
yeah, I heard
Pre-order.
GameStop was also a nightmare online. I think a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
ended up doing it in person, which they allocated a lot of units to GameStop, like for in person. Like a lot of stores had 80 to 100 units. So I mean, it sounded like going in person was the way to go, and that was going to be my backup plan. I had thought about going that next morning, but I had to work, and I was like, I'm not going to take any time off to go to GameStop.
Yeah, right.
I was going to at my lunch break just kind of go up there and just see, if there's a line or anything like that, but I ended up not. But
I did. I went to a GameStop yesterday because there was one right by like a Walmart or something, and I stopped in and just like asked about the Switch 2. I was like, hey, like just checking, like, do you guys have any left or did you sell out? And he said, yeah, we sold out completely. We had about 60 in stock, and they all sold out within a few hours of opening. He said, one person started to camp out at 9:30 p.m. the night before, and then the next person didn't show up until like 4 a.m.
dang.
And then by the time that guy got into work, there were probably like 50 people in line, something like that. So, I mean, it seemed like everyone who lined up for it got it, which is good. And that seems to be the case for like a lot of other GameStops. So like, it sounds like they were allocated more stock than they have been for previous console launches. I know like the PS5 and Series X, did they even have anything because of COVID? Like, did they have like physical?
I don't think they did. I don't think you could pre-order it physical or in person at all, which is probably why it was such a nightmare for so many people for like a year and a half. I mean, we both ended up. I think I got mine through Walmart. Did you get yours through Best Buy for Xbox?
I think it was Walmart actually.
Yeah, so Walmart last two times has been pretty clutch. I did pre-order the Switch 2 OLED through Best Buy, but that one was pretty easy to get. I mean,
that probably wasn't hard.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, I thought it was a pretty. I mean, I know people that didn't get it are mad, and and I'd probably be in the same boat. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy now. I'm more excited. Like I still wish there was.
Now you know you're gonna get it.
That one, we talked about it before, but like that one single player game, that we kind of are come to expect with Nintendo. Like we don't really have anything. I'll probably end up picking up Bravely Default, but that's just, I mean, it is just a remaster of the first one, so that's not like super hype.
Like that one could have been on Switch 1.
Yeah.
It's not anything crazy. Oh, what accessories did you pick up?
So
I know you've told me.
Yeah, so I got the. I'll go over my haul. So I've got the Mario Kart bundle. I did pre-order the Pro controller. I pre-ordered the camera. You text me that you got the camera. I was like, we got to test it for educational purposes.
Yeah.
So I picked up the camera, and then I am a scumbag, and I pre-ordered the 3 amiibos for Zelda. For whatever reason, Unobo is not available.
I think he's gonna be like in store only.
Interesting. I may cancel those because $30 is like pretty egregious, and I understand it's 145%. Tariff and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that stuff is going to come down beforehand. And if it doesn't, I'll probably just cancel. I mean, I've paid $30 for some Zelda amiibos in the past for ones that they weren't making anymore. So I've done it, but
yeah, but like
it's crazy.
That's a precedent set by someone else.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, Nintendo. And I mean, yeah, I know it's like all the tariffs, but so damn, $30, and then the Street Fighter one's 40. Like no shot I would ever buy a $40 amiibo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Actually, I think I bought the
Neo and
Noah amiibo was 40.
That was 40. But hey, come on. I mean, that's a cool one.
No shot I would do it again.
Yeah, no shot. So I'll probably end up. I just wanted to secure it just in case they sold out.
Yeah.
So hopefully the prices. It's probably not going to, but I mean, it's a month. We're like almost a month away, dude. That's crazy. Like, I'm so ready.
I know. Just over a month left. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's flying by.
I mean, I know.
Between
I
the initial
remember when,
reveal and
after the
now.
reveal, we're like, man, like really, we gotta wait until April, and here it is.
Here we are
Yeah.
in May, pretty much. So it's coming. I mean, listen, I'm excited for Mario Kart World. I think it's gonna be a lot
Yeah.
of fun. I think the open world stuff is gonna be very cool. That's what I'm most excited for on
Yeah.
day one, is just to explore the open world and try to do all the challenges and do all that kind of cool stuff and try to unlock characters if they're like unlockable in outfits. But I totally agree with you. I wish there was that, like, that Metroid Prime 4. I wish Prime 4 was a launch title, and for whatever reason it's not. I don't know why. It seems like it's ready. I mean,
Yeah. What are they holding it for?
or
It seems kind of silly that they're not.
I don't know. I really don't know why they're holding on to it so long.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking
I
maybe
mean,
they would
honestly,
announce it like the
yeah.
date and it would actually come out. I mean, probably not now because we're a month and some change away, but yeah, I just feel that just feels weird. I mean, Mario Kart and Metro Prime are so different, and there's just really not that much for consumers like you and I, where we've played most of this third party stuff. We're probably not going to double dip too often, and I would absolutely pay 60-70 bucks for Metro Prime 4.
Yeah.
At launch, just to have it ready to go. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, is there any third party game that, like, let's say, like, if Metaphor came out day one to the Switch too, would you pick that up? Would you pick up Elden Ring if that was day one? Would you? Trying to think
Probably
of.
not. I mean, I
Probably not.
think I do want. I mean, I just kind of want Elden Ring, like in a Switch case, like that just seems so cool to have. But also, like, I'm kind of like, with the game key card thing. I think it's cool for Nintendo to offer, to force developers to use this game key card, so you can resell your stuff. But it's not on the cartridge, so
I mean, it's like a disc. It's just like
yeah,
a
yeah, that's
Xbox
true.
disc. It's the same thing.
So
I mean, as long as the
yeah,
artwork is still on there, on the cartridges and on the bot, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
as long as it looks and feels like a cartridge, then
yeah,
at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna be too upset about it. But that what I am upset about is visually on the box itself, having that just
yeah. It's
that
so
that
ugly.
section at the bottom dedicated to the key card stuff, like that just looks so ugly. That kind of thing existed on the Switch One.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
Games
download
that didn't
code.
come with a card, just came with a download code. Like, those were so ugly as well.
Yeah,
So I hate that look, but
yeah. I mean,
it is
hopefully,
what
if
it is.
yeah, I mean, I think if Metaphor and Elden Ring are somehow like on the cartridge, I think I would probably pick them up. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so ugly with that big old text. Um,
Right.
I don't know. It'll be a case by case scenario for me. I definitely want to support Metaphor because that game is absolutely incredible. But I'm also
Mhm.
playing it again right now. No, not right now, but I started replaying again on the PS5. So I don't know if I want to get it again and replay it again. But
Start from scratch, yeah.
start from scratch. Um, you want to any more thoughts on the Switch 2?
I mean, nothing else. It just sounds like there's still a lot of, like, grifting going on about
Yeah, it's
the
pretty
$80
annoying.
games and the intricacies of the console itself and the console's power. So, just stay vigilant with misinformation and
Oh my god, it's been like awful, and it's not even like it's just it's just at this point it's not really even misinformation. It's just like people and websites just intentionally like misinforming people just to get the clicks,
yeah.
which is obviously misinformation, but like I don't know. It's like, come on, you have to do the research and you know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's been crazy.
the last thing I want to say, I want to get that GameCube controller too. Whenever
Yes,
that goes
yes,
live, I think that's going to be around like May 8th when they do
yeah,
the Nintendo Store pre-orders.
yeah.
Because that's only available through their website, right? The GameCube controller. Okay. Yeah, so I do want to secure that because I'm excited. I'm really excited to play Path of Radiance, play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on the GameCube. I'll boot up Wind Waker. I'll try F-Zero. I've never played an F-Zero game aside from F-Zero 99, so I'll boot that up and give it a shot. But
yeah, I mean, I've got all the other controllers, so like, I gotta get the GameCube one.
Is there an NES and an SNES controller?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I just have the Nintendo 64.
Hold on.
But it's cool.
Yeah, it really does make a difference when you're playing these games too with the proper controllers. So we got the NES, beautiful. SNES.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so cool.
Dang.
And then of course the GameCube.
When you streamed Ocarina of Time, were you playing on the Nintendo 64 controller? Oh, dude, hell yeah.
That's the way to do it. It feels like that game feels weird without it, to be honest.
You got to finish your stream of Majora's Mask.
I know. I got I'm not gonna say burnt out, but yeah.
I mean,
it helped. I may do it when the kids go to Florida, because I remember they went to the beach or something for a week. So I just, like, at nighttime, I just streamed for like 3 hours. So it was really easy for me to do that. So I may do that again here in a few weeks.
You could also do Wind Waker.
Yeah.
When that comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I would rather it, obviously have like the Switch, like a proper Switch version, but whatever. I'm excited to boot it up. I mean, it's still, like, from the trailer, it still looks, I mean, it's kind of a timeless, art style. So it still looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks great.
Cool. Well, let's dive into what we've been playing, then we'll talk about The Last of Us here in a moment. Oblivion got shadow dropped.
It happens.
I mean, we knew it was kind of coming. It's like the worst kept secret in gaming, but still an awesome moment. From them just showing like what it looked like, 20 years ago on the 360, 19 years ago, and then they showed it in the new art style or whatever, the remastered version. I've only played maybe like an hour and a half. I didn't want to dive too deep into it because I knew Clair was coming out, and I knew that was gonna take over. But for what I played, I mean, it looks incredible. Looks incredible.
Yeah, it looks really great.
It feels like Oblivion. I know
it plays like Oblivion did.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool.
I mean, it's got that jank.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of jank than what you'd find in something like Starfield. This one feels, maybe it's just nostalgia, but it feels endearing and it feels more fun.
It's the good
to watch.
jank.
It's a good jank. Like there's a quest line, and I've played like 5 or 6 hours of it so far. But there's a quest line in one of the towns where like you come across this guy and he's paranoid that someone's following him. He thinks all of his neighbors are following him around. So you're like,
is he on skooma?
Is that one of the like a drug or something? And
that's like the drink that makes you like hallucinate.
Oh, that might be how it ends. I don't know. But you're like tasked with following one of the NPCs around all day, or at least that's what I did. And just the amount of jank and amount of glitches I saw just following this one NPC around during the day was like unfathomable. Just so fun to watch.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. As much as I complained about like Starfield and Bethesda's recent games. There's just something, and again, I know it's the nostalgia hitting me, but it's just something that I'm just like, this is what Oblivion is. It is that janky goodness that we come to love, and it's like now that we're in like more modern times with better consoles, it's like, all right, this stuff's not really excusable anymore, inexcusable. So, but yeah, Oblivion's cool.
Makes me wonder how forgiving people will be with Elder Scrolls 6 and whatever amount of jank that comes with.
And see, I don't know, because like Elder Scrolls is such a different thing than Starfield, even though it's like same kind of engine and same deadpan camera shot of the people's faces, but it's just
hey, yeah. Hey, stranger.
What was that video I did where I was like, underneath? What did I say? It was like, space is crazy.
Yeah. Space is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's very interesting. But I will say that from like my hour and a half in Oblivion, I like how it feels. Like I like the controls. I like sword fighting and stuff like really that. Good. So I started my.
I still went Sneaky
That's what
Archer.
I did. That's a classic, man. It's classic.
Did you go with Sneaky Patterson? Was that your?
No, my name. So I went with the Dark Elf. So my name is. I just did the opposite of Dark Elves. I did Flea Card.
Oh, you just literally took the spelling of Dark Elf and did it backwards.
So my name's Flea.
I like that name. I'm Sneaks McGee.
I like it.
It's my guy. Sneaks McGee. Yeah. Sneakiest in all of Oblivion.
Of Tamriel. Oblivion's real cool. I'll dive more into that once I'm finished up with Clair Obscure. But I did finish up South of Midnight this week. This game's great, man. I mean, we talked about it the last couple of weeks, but the story is incredible. Although it does end very abruptly. Like there's not much to it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just like it just wraps up. Man,
I expected.
It's like you almost expect an additional boss or something, or like an additional fight.
Yeah.
5 more minutes of cutscene. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really mad, like, because like you do like the kind of the final boss, and then there's like, you have to deal with one other character, and I like the way that they handled her, in the game or whatever. But yeah, then after that, it just ends. I'm like, okay, am I gonna get like an epilogue or something? No, it just ends.
Post credit scene.
Yeah, it takes you back to the screen, and I was like, okay, well maybe I hit continue, something is good, and then it just takes you right back to the final scene. So, I mean, other than that, the game is incredible. I think the combat is serviceable. It's not the greatest. It's not as bad as I think some people like. Again, like I'm not going to turn off the combat. That's a little crazy to me.
Yeah.
That people actually did that were reviewing the game, but too strong. I mean, it's there.
Okay, that's a good take actually, because, and I know who you're talking about.
Talking about Greg from
you're talking about baby gamer Greg Miller.
Kind of funny.
PlayStation fanboy number 1. Man, you know what? I don't know if you should be able to opine on a game if you turn off one of the key elements of it. It's like if you like skip puzzles in Resident Evil, or like you skip puzzles and Blueprints or something. I don't know, man. It feels a little disingenuous to. Is that a word? A little non-genuine.
Disingenuous to like. Yeah, to like, I mean, to like the person that's, the people that are coming to your reviews. It's like, because I think he still gave it like an 8, but it's like, how do you give a game an 8 that you hated the combat? Like that's right. That's crazy. And
like, I guess theoretically he should have given it a lower score because the combat should have graded on him more the more he played. But he skipped over the second half of the game's worth of combat, which like you get new abilities and the combat
does get better, and like the boss, like the fights do become more challenging. I mean, they're not super hard or anything, but that's just kind of like reviewers that like don't beat a game. I also think that's a little bit disingenuous.
Dude, you can't.
It's like I'm not saying you have to do if it's an RPG. I'm not saying you have to do every single side quest like and get in 100% the game, but you at least got to get through the main storyline to give a proper review, in my opinion. Because I've seen that. I've seen that a lot recently, where people just they're like, I didn't finish the game, but I'm giving it a 6. Well, okay, then then I think you should just not review it if you can't bring yourself to finish it.
Right. Unless the game is so bad or like so broken that you can't finish it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. It's hard because like you work for a news outlet or a media outlet, and they force you to, not force you, but like you get assigned a review.
Yeah.
So you have to write a review, but like, what if you really hate the game, or what if you really don't vibe with it? I don't know. It's kind of a nebulous thing. It's kind of a gray area. Like, have you played
Yeah.
enough of it to have a full opinion? How
And
long
a
is the
lot of
game?
games, I mean, some game mechanics don't open up, towards the end. Like it just kind of depends on the game, but I mean, you could be missing out on a pretty awesome moments gameplay wise. But I don't know. I mean, to each their own, like I said, but I just feel like if I'm going to take a review seriously, I want to know that you finished the game.
Yeah.
But so yeah, South of Midnight, it's a good game. I definitely think it's like an 8 out of 10 for me. Probably, I mean, it's one of my favorite games of the year so far, but we're only in April, so
Yeah,
we'll see. Nick, tell me some more about Blueprints, and then we'll end off with potentially the game of the year.
Yeah. So I rolled credits on Blueprints.
Okay.
It was like the day after the podcast last week. So I was very close.
Which means nothing, right? That I've heard.
Yeah, which means nothing, right? Yeah. There's like so much more to it. You like get to the end, but it doesn't give it doesn't really give you a full explanation for what's going on. It really doesn't give you much of an explanation.
Yeah.
So I still have a lot to uncover. I absolutely love this game. I love, just about everything about it. Just it does a thing I like about roguelikes where you'll finish a run and you'll walk away with like a lot of knowledge, but there are also some things that are persistent throughout each run, like permanent unlocks.
Yeah.
And there are some permanent unlocks at the end of the game that made subsequent runs just much easier, and it made getting to the end of the game a lot easier overall. Whereas in some roguelikes, you're like, okay, I have to go do this and then do this and then do this and then do this again, and I have to do it perfectly. Whereas in this one, you get to a certain point, you like unlock a specific door or whatever, and then that door just stays unlocked.
Okay.
Okay, I can breathe a little bit, and I don't have to plan around going and getting a key to unlock that door every single time. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Makes it a little bit easier, which is why I was able to, finish as quickly as I did. I think I clocked in around 15 hours.
Okay.
Still want to play more of it. I wanted to finish this before Oblivion came out, and then of course before Clair Obscure came out. So like it was busy week last week for games, but yeah, definitely want to dive more into this. I hope they port this to Switch too. I would definitely pick this up on Switch too.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a perfect game for Switch too.
Yeah.
Well,
this is.
I think in the coming months we're gonna get so much stuff getting ported over to Switch too.
Once a lot more like indie devs get their hands on the system, I think we'll start getting a lot more indie content. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games of the year so far. Like it's truly incredible. Like this is a 9 out of 10 easy at this point. Could be higher depending on how much more of it I play, how far I get into the game. I heard the latter puzzles are very RNG based, like really reliant on you, quote unquote, rolling specific rooms and then rolling other rooms in direct vicinity to those rooms. So it's like, depending on how your RNG gods are, it might take a long time to fully finish the game.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Very good.
Sweet. Yeah. I'll play that eventually, but right now it's just, there's so much.
There's too much going on.
Yeah. Let's dive into Clair Obscure
Future Game of the Year
Edition 33. This game was revealed last year at the Summer Games Fest, Xbox's event. So pretty quick turnaround, which I love. I love when a game is announced and it's out within the next year. I love that stuff. Obviously this one caught so many people's eyes. Just everyone in the gaming community, for whatever reason, not everyone, but a lot of people are like, oh, turn-based games are dead. Turn-based RPG games are dead. Meanwhile, you have stuff like Metaphor selling over 1 million. We'll talk about here in a second, but this one crossed 1 million in just a few days. So it's like these games are absolutely not dead. just because Final Fantasy got away from it doesn't mean
it's gone.
Doesn't mean it's gone.
I will say real quick, I think what people are trying to say, and they're saying it in the wrong way, is that we haven't seen like a AAA looking turn-based RPG like this in a long time. Because like we get like the Bravely Defaults and the Octopath Travelers, like a lot of like the HD 2D games we get.
And even Metaphor like doesn't look like
Metaphor is
great,
like,
but it's
running
not
on like PS4 caliber graphics.
Yeah, and like with Clair Obscure, it's like, kind of, I'm not gonna say photorealistic, but like it's very, very realistic graphics compared to some other RPGs out there. But yeah, man, I mean, as soon as I booted this game up, it's I'm not gonna say it's often where a game just it completely, captivates me in a way. But this one absolutely did. I mean, just the world building I think is incredible. How melancholy it is, just like the sense of dread in this game, but also like people are kind of at peace with how things are happening because it's just set in stone, literally.
Right.
For those that don't know, it started at Expedition 100, and it's counted down, and every year, if you're over the age that the number changes to, you die. Like you kind of like, I don't know, Avenger style,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, they said the world they kind of send these expeditions to try to defeat the Paintress, which is the one that's changing the number every year. No one's, I don't think anyone's ever survived the expedition, but everyone leaves like behind a little piece of
like a little piece of knowledge, little piece
of knowledge. Get maybe a little bit closer to the Paintress, maybe not. Just kind of depends, but yeah, the world of this game is really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's the numbers counting down from 100, and now it's down to 33. So your character, I think, the main character, Gustav, is I think 32 years old, and then you have your other teammates, which are around the same age, and then one child who's 16 years old. And like it keeps messing with me because in the beginning of the game, he was like, "Oh, you have 9 years left until your Gourmage. Like, why are you coming with me?" I was like, "Oh, she's 24." And then I thought about it more. It's like, "Oh, you're aging up, and the thing is counting down, so you got to be in the middle." Like, damn,
which is just crazy.
16, you don't have much time left. So it's like conceptually, it's such a cool idea for a video game, and like it's one where like I'm already thinking of. Like, damn, I would love to see a spin-off game of like one of the failed expeditions.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Kind of like Rogue One style. Like, the ending's going to be like Halo Reach. Like the ending is, but you get to see it and
that'd be really cool
through a different fashion. Yeah. But yeah, this game has like the best, I think my favorite opening of all time. And
it's pretty great. Like
that opening hour is so good. Like the music is incredible. I don't think we've talked about that. Like the music during the Gourmage is so impactful. It's so good. It just makes you tear up. And like you were saying this before the podcast, but like you get so connected to these characters so quickly, and you're like, dang, like I already missed you, and I just met you, and now you're gone. Like, man, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really cool game. And it's on Game Pass too, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping into like the combat. I mean, it's obviously turn-based RPG, but it adds in like some time mechanics, like you can parry, you can dodge. If you time it at the right time when you're attacking, you do extra damage. So it's kind of like that Mario and Luigi, Paper Mario kind of, Sea of Stars kind of thing, where it's just, it adds to the gameplay a lot, and it like keeps you engaged.
It does.
So I guess like people that don't like, JRPGs, give this one a shot because it keeps you engaged enough where it's not, it's not like a 3D action game, but it's so fast paced. Like it's crazy. And then you have like the gun mechanic where you can kind of like shoot out
you just free aim and
you can free aim and shoot weak points and stuff like that. And it's got like a really, really interesting combat system with like the action points, and you have to build up the action points in order to use your abilities. You know, and Gustav has like his overcharge move, I think, where you have to
Overcharge, yeah.
you have to get, and you get action points by either dodging or parrying or just doing like a basic attack. So you have to like play around with that in order to get some of the better move sets that you can do. So it's kind of like give or take with that, but yeah, man, the combat is excellent.
Yeah, and each character has their own like their own gimmick to combat. Like Gustav has the overcharge, and then Lune has like her spell casting ability and like her 4 like shard things that she can accumulate and then use those to increase the power of her spells. And then, you know, other characters have other gimmicks, but like the customization in this game is crazy because you have the I'm gonna forget all these names. You have the Pictos, which are like the individual like modifiers kind of abilities that you have. And then if you use those on your character and you like win 4 battles or something, you could then use them by anyone else. Like anyone else can use them using their Lumios points.
Yeah.
You can allocate those. And so like you can have a bunch of different abilities equipped. So you can like stack up the amount of AP gained per turn, like based off of like every action that you do. Like, okay, you get one where it's like, oh, I dodge and I get AP. I block, I get AP. Or not block, I parry, I get AP.
Kill an enemy, you get like 3 AP for one of those.
Kill an enemy, like break an enemy.
Some really cool combinations that you can do. Yeah, everything about this game, man. There's nothing that I dislike right now.
Yeah,
you know, I'm still in Act 1. I'm still just a few hours in, probably 5 or 6 hours in, maybe a little bit further. I think Nick, you said you're in Act 2.
Yeah, I'm about 11 or 12 hours in.
But yeah, the story is just super engaging, and that's what I want from a JRPG style game is, you know, a kind of a grandiose adventure. Like, you know, we're on this big adventure, and that's what you kind of want, and it's just nailing everything for me right now.
And it's got the open world,
yep,
that you can walk around in, like Final Fantasy 3 style, where you know you leave an area and then you're almost like looking in on a dollhouse. It's kind of what's the term you use for
like a diorama?
Yeah, like a diorama, kind of like looking at a diorama, and then you go into different areas and then you can explore those spots too. So that there's a ton of stuff you can do. There's like a obstacle courses, like parkour courses,
only up challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah, the only up stuff and like side bosses and like huge side areas to go to as well, like huge optional areas. Have you unlocked SKA? Like
I think I have.
Like the guy, like the different form of travel.
Oh no, I don't think I have yet. No.
Okay. It was in the trailer, so hopefully I'm not spoiling anything. But he is a genuinely funny character with the way he talks. So nice. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on him and his little story.
Yeah, the game is great, and visually it is one of the best looking games I've ever played.
Dude, it's stunning.
The art style is, and it's weird because like they use, I don't know what technology they use, but it's kind of like almost like a blur technology, I guess. Like it looks, some areas look kind of, I don't mean blurry in like a bad way. It's just like the way everything looks has like a slight haze to it almost. I don't know. It's really like cool.
Dream.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I did go in and turn off like the gamma stuff and the motion blur. Like I turned all of those settings off, and I feel like that improved. Not that it looked bad before, but like I put it on performance mode and then turned all those off, and I was having a better experience with it because the what was it, the water area, like that one was just a little bit hard to like visually navigate.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Turned that stuff off, and that really helps. But yeah, man, I'm loving this game. It's so, the story is incredible. The characters are all really great. Combat is exceptional.
Yep.
And I learned this today, and I haven't actually confirmed it, but I was like, I kept getting not getting lost, but you know how in games like this, you want to know what the critical path is so you can go the other direction.
Yeah.
Well, I
Kind of like
learned
it's
that
at
if
midnight.
yeah, exactly like South of Midnight. But I learned that if you follow the lanterns or the lights that are like floating above, that's the
Oh.
critical path.
Oh,
So
okay. That's good to know.
that's the direction you need to go so you can know where to spin off and go do some side exploring.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's why I've been doing is like, yeah, just ton of exploring when I can. Yeah, it's I can't wait. Like I said earlier, I can't stop thinking about it. I was at work all day and I'm like, man, I just want to like just play this game.
You just wanna stay up all night and play it, you know?
Stay up all night.
It's one of those
All right,
games.
but yeah, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it some more here in the next week or two. But let's move on to our review discussion of The Last of Us season 2, episode 3. This is obviously full spoilers again. But this is obviously the on the other side of Joel getting killed. I thought it was a really good episode. It was, you know, kind of a decompression episode from the craziness that was episode 2. It takes place 3 months later. You know, Ellie's just getting out of the hospital, and you know, immediately on the warpath. Thanks to Dina.
Yeah, it's I'm a little bit less hot on it. I thought it was just weird, like kind of like weirdly slow compared to the first 2 episodes, which makes sense. Like it is that breather after Joel's death, and I feel like the game, like when that happened in the game, it did just push you to like to move on. And I think even Neil Druckmann mentioned that in like his post episode interview. So this does give like that death more time to breathe. I just think the choice to change it to 3 months instead of a couple of days was a little bit weird. I thought there would be like much more urgency, and I wonder how they're going to handle like them going to Seattle versus them following Tommy and like being just right behind him the whole time.
Tommy hasn't left, right? I mean, in the
Yeah,
show,
he hasn't left.
So we don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, Tommy was a badass in the game. Like that whole sniper section was super intense.
And he was torturing people and
he was going crazy. So who knows? I mean, I don't know exactly what direction they're going to do with him. But yeah, I mean, I like the kind of the big conversation they had, the town hall meeting, and that one guy, I can't remember his name, but the
Seth,
one that was Seth, like his turnaround, like you're like, hell yeah, like you're rooting for that character again. Or a little bit of a kind of a redemption arc for him, I guess. Being like, what the hell are we doing? Like this is Joel. Like we can't just sit aside and do nothing. We can't roll over, and because they will be back, and obviously they're not going to be back, but you know, they don't know that. And then, you know, and do they know the context of like why they did it? We we assume so. It's not really ever mentioned.
I don't know. I don't know if the town knows why. I'd assume not.
Yeah, I would assume not too, because like I guess, I mean, Tommy was like when he was talking to Dina after they laid out the plan, he's like, you know, don't ever withhold information from me again. So maybe she told him that Joel killed her dad, but obviously left out where they lived. So who knows? Not that that's super important for like the town itself, but knowing, but yeah, I mean, we kind of got to look at the what are the whistling people called? I can't remember what they're called in the game.
Something
like the
cellulites, like cephrolites,
something like that. Yeah, the scars, like they're, but
yeah,
we got to look at them, and then obviously they get decimated by what we assume is the wolves. We don't
Seraphites.
Yeah, I guess we don't 100% know it's but I think they're at war anyways. So
yeah.
So I guess that makes sense that it's them. But Yeah, I mean, I thought it was, with there only being 7 episodes, and this one was like you said, a little bit slow. I kind of wish they would have gotten to the point a little bit faster, but still got, I guess, a world build and stuff like that for what's to come. But I mean, that end shot with seeing how many wolves, like they're going to be way over their head.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I will say I was getting annoyed with Ellie. Mostly in the scene with Seth when they were leaving.
Oh, and she's just like, come on,
dude, he's helping you. Just let it go. Like, just don't hold a grudge for 2 seconds, and like, don't be a dick.
Yeah, I can't remember how she was in the game, but
I don't think she was like
super. She's not super likable in this show.
No, she's really not. She. I don't know if it's the direction. I don't know if it's the script, but
like she's a very like sarcastic character and is very quick with like the jokes and stuff. But yeah, I just don't remember if I remember her being that way in the game.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I did want to
eventually. Oh, yeah, Dean is great. Yeah, she's kind of like the backbone of the show in a way, and like she's the likable character, But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. They didn't show Abby or any of them at all during this episode, which I thought was good.
Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna. Wonder if that's gonna continue or if they'll have another. I mean, we might not see her until the season finale.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
We saw one of her friends. We saw what's his? I can't remember his name, but
I'm assuming the first one
first. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the first one they get to in the game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll probably see him within the next episode or two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was good. I'm still excited to watch more.
Yeah, again, episode 4.
I'm curious what the ratings are going to be, like or how they were. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but it's crazy.
We'll see. Yeah, only 4 more episodes left. We'll see what they do with them, but we know there's a season 3 that's been confirmed and greenlit. Yeah. So we know there's going to be a second side to the story.
Yeah,
for better or worse.
And like I don't know, like if they, Last of Us is such a cool universe. That they could just do, like I would love just like a little 6 episode like mini series of the show and just show different stories from different characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about it like before
the day one. Yeah.
But Bill and Frank episode, incredible. Would love to see day 1, day 0 of that stuff is like always the coolest and zombie apocalypse stuff. So yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that they'll probably do something more after season 3.
I think they
assuming it continues to do well. So I would.
I do wonder what the viewership was this week versus episode 2.
I don't know. I don't think it. I always compare it to The Walking Dead just because like how crazy that was.
I don't think it'll be at that caliber.
I don't think it will be either. But yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up with the with the news. We talked about it a little bit, but Clair Obscure has crossed 1 million sold. I think it had hit 500,000 at like the day of or day after. And then over the weekend it went past 1 million. So I don't know where it's at now, but congratulations to the team.
That's really good. Just a few days. Doesn't include Game Pass players either. Yep. It's just 1 million shipped to retailers. So that's really incredible. I hope it passes like 2-3 million and really like sets a new precedent here.
It's incredible. I mean, 30 people, 33, 32 people, like just crazy.
Yeah.
What they were able to accomplish with this game and how good it looks, how good it plays. It's great. And then switch to pre-orders. Is that just what we talked about earlier?
Yeah, I think we covered it. Just it sounded like the majority of people who wanted one got one based off of like all the polls that I was seeing. It sounds like over half of people got their pre-orders. honestly, like this is going to be the biggest gaming console launch of all time. I think it's going to beat out the PS4 and the PS5.
Yep.
I mean, the Nintendo of Japan apologized because 2.2 million people signed up for pre-orders or signed up to get access to the pre-orders.
Never interested in the pre-order. That doesn't guarantee 2 million. And they even came out and said, hey, you know, we're just not going to be able to accommodate everyone that is interested in. I'm assuming, did they announce anything about the US? I'm assuming that's got to be the same.
They have announced. I bet it's, I bet more people have showed their interest here even.
Yeah, I'm sure. I gotta wonder how many people that were spamming drop the price in the YouTube chat still picked it up. I bet there was a lot, a majority.
All the YouTubers who were hating on the Switch 2, they were probably also sweating at midnight trying to secure one. It's all a farce. I mean, it's all a front.
Yeah, it's just grifting right now. It's incredibly annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if I think karma is very real, and if you're out here, you know, poo-pooing on the Switch 2 for various reasons, and then you still end up wanting one and you don't get one, well, that's just the energy you put out into the world, and it's biting you, and you'll probably end up paying scalping prices.
Hopefully not. It seems like it seemed like eBay was being flooded with scalpers, sure, but also being flooded with like fake Switch 2.
Yeah.
Switch 2 listings,
which is also like hilarious
price.
because it's like you have a pre-order. Like that means something, but it also means nothing because it could get canceled. So it's like, come on, what are we doing here?
Right. And also, I guess if you're scalping it, you would ship it to yourself and then ship it out. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like the scalping isn't as bad with the Switch 2 as it was with, say, the PS5. Yeah. Apparently, people were able to order 7 or 8 at once.
Well, I mean, looking at like what Jake Randall said, it's like whenever people, like if you were to pre-order like in the same order, you know, a Switch 2, like the Mario Kart bundle, and then there's the regular Switch 2, you know, Target's going to go in, or Best Buy or whatever, and if they find that they oversold or they didn't have enough to accommodate what they have, they're going to go in and cancel the ones that have multiple orders. So it's like, you know, it's not a good idea to try to order a bunch at the same time. But
yeah.
All right, Nick. Well, before we wrap up, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for those that didn't get one and are still wanting one, follow Jake Randall.
They'll still do drops and stuff.
Keep watching.
You know, occasionally.
Yeah, GameStop's still gonna do drops. Walmart,
and Nintendo's thing coming.
Keep putting
pretty soon in May. You know, they're gonna have their own separate pre-order stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's gonna be enough. We'll see.
I think there will be.
But before we get out of here, Nick, I just want to update the Fantasy Critic with Oblivion coming out and Clair Obscure scoring so well. I have caught up to you almost. I'm now at 52 points, and you are at 68.
Did you have Oblivion as well?
I had it as like the unannounced Oblivion remaster. It was at like 87, 88, God. But it did jump down a few. It did drop down a few points, so it's currently sitting at 83 on Open Critic.
Okay,
so I got 13 points for that, and then I got 22 for Clair Obscure. So,
damn.
So yeah, I'm.
And what's next?
Doom's next.
Doom.
You've got Lost Soul aside. I've got Elden Ring Night Rain, which you did. That's in a month too. That's also crazy. You counterpick that one. But then you got Mario Kart World, which we assume is going to be a high reviewed game. Death Stranding 2. I've got Donkey Kong. You've got Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. You've got Hell Is Us coming. I've got Mafia, The Old Country, and then you've got Ghost of Yotai. And then all the other ones are kind of estimated. Grand Theft Auto 6 I've got Ninja Gaiden 4. You've got Pokemon Legends ZA. I've got Metro Prime 4, Hollow Knight, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 Remake, You've got unannounced mainline 3D Mario, which is still up. I mean, who knows? Who knows? And then I've also got Resident Evil 9
Could be
as my shot in the dark.
Nice.
So it's good. I caught up a little bit.
We're playing ball now. We're playing ball.
So, and then whatever else gets announced, who knows? Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it.
Yeah, could be
for episode 262 of the Gaming with the Bros Cast podcast. We appreciate everyone watching, everybody listening. If you can review us on your favorite podcasting platform of choice, if you're watching the YouTube VOD, that'd be awesome. We'll be back next week with some more Expedition 33 talk, I'm assuming. Back with episode 4 of Last of Us season 2, and then whatever else craziness happens. Nick, any final thoughts?
I hope everyone nabs a Switch 2 pre-order. Yeah. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Like you said, just follow Jake Rundle. He'll guide you to the light.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.